Hey, what's up, everyone? Thursday morning here, about 6:30. Someone asked who's your early riser. Everyone knows kind of that I am an early riser for the most part. I'm usually up at 5 every day. The other day I slept until 6, which was a little weird for me. But sometimes on Sunday that'll happen too. One of the things today that as I do my daily routine, wake up in the morning, make myself some coffee, let the dog out, and listen to a couple podcasts. I usually listen to Gary Vee first. It's just kind of the way that it is, and he says some stuff that kind of inspire me, make me think about what my day is going to be like and what I'm looking for. And the reason why I listen to that, and if you've seen a couple of my posts this morning, is because it brings me value. He says the same things over and over again, and I've said that a few times. So do other people. Lewis Howes says the same thing. He's one of the people I listen to. Sometimes I'll listen to Tony Robbins. I don't quite get as much from him, although he is very inspiring. And that's kind of what I want to do, is I want to inspire people to think about that. And so getting your inspiration from other places is kind of where it happens. I don't think that anyone really has... There are such things as original ideas, but a lot of those original ideas stem from reflecting on what you've heard other people say and what other people do. And for me... this morning he was talking about value. So you listen to what, I listen to those podcasts, I listen to people, I have conversations with regular everyday people as well. I have conversations with my boss all the time. I have conversations with my parents. I have conversations with lots of people. And I sit there and I look and I decide, this is really what I'm looking for, and I'll pick and choose what I listen to and what I take and what I value, and then I'll use that in my everyday life. And so Gary was talking this morning about value and bringing value to people. And as a salesman, that's what you're doing, but as a person in life, that's what you're doing as well. You try to add value to what they're thinking. A lot of times value comes from an insecure spot, though, which is really tough, because what I value and what someone else values could be two totally different things. Someone could value the fact that, this is what I want to do. This is my dream. This is how I'm going to do it. And then you can be the buzzkill because you're the devil's advocate. You're telling them everything that's wrong with their idea. And I think that you have to address that with each individual person in a different way. From a coaching standpoint, when I was a baseball coach, you sit there and you look and you can tell one kid, you can yell and scream at him, and that's what they need is motivation. I was that kid, so I know that that's a motivator. When I did something wrong, when my coach was upset, he'd come over and, with me, he could do that, but with someone else, it would be the end of the day. It would ruin their life. They didn't value that type of criticism. And so that's one of the things that you need to think about when you're trying to bring value to people. Right now, another company in the town is doing this. They do this sale every year, and it basically is they give you half price on everything that they sell. Well, the thing is as with every selling point, there is something that goes along that is they inflate the price and then they give you a half price, and really they're not giving you that good of a value. But if you see that they're going to give you half price on a product, that's the first thing you look at. Hey, I get half price on that, so it's a really good deal. You got to be smart enough to know that there isn't really that big of a value in a half price on something when it's above full retail or above whatever the cost is that you're paying. And I've seen this advertisement done in a lot of different places. It's a way to get someone or to get your foot in the door. And then when you give them the product, then they're kind of like, well, is this really that good of a deal? They have to make the decision and determine on their own if it's brought them enough value in order to make the purchase. That's the same thing with service. We may not be the lowest person in town, but we have really good service, and that's what sets us apart. Do you want to have to deal with the fact that, and there's many people like this, you can go buy your product from online or a Home Depot store or something like that, and you can put it up yourself, but is that going to make it easy for you in the long run? Something goes wrong. I've been on both sides of this, and so when something goes wrong, I sit there and I have to take it down, take it in, ship it off, and then wait 4 weeks for it to come back. When it comes back, like it did with me, it was wrong. So then we have to take it and we have to send it back again. And so that's the thing. You have to look at the big picture. Is it really worth it, the headache for you? And maybe it is, and that's great if it is, to have to deal with all that stuff to save a buck. Or is it worth you to pay just a little bit more and get that lifetime warranty, or get, a service warranty that everyone will, or that they'll go ahead and honor every single time. So, but that's beside the point. I don't know why I went into that, because I really think that this conversation here is about the fact that the value that you bring in your post, in your social media, and what you're trying to do is where it's really at. You need to give someone something that they value. For me, my value I posted this morning is the value that I try to find in my life is to help other people be successful. I want to see other people succeed, and that's with my wife, that's with my daughter, that's with my family, that's with anyone that I'm around that will listen to what I have to say, that is seeking, they're seeking advice from me. You want people to be successful. I want people to be successful. I don't care, when I was in sales, when I was in tire sales, it was the same thing. I wanted every single person below me, or that did not know as much as me, to know as much as me so that they could do everything that they wanted. It was my job to help them get promoted. It was my job to help get them all the knowledge that they needed. But they had to want it, but they had to see value in that. And if they didn't see value in it, then I didn't share my knowledge with them. I tried to, but they have to be willing to accept that. So that's where I find value in helping other people succeed. And so I hope that today you go and try and find how you're going to give value to someone's life, how you're going to make them feel like they are worth something, that they need something, or you can give them something that will make them realize that there's more to it, that they need to be successful and you want to help them be successful. Don't tear them down. Think about who you're talking to. Think about the way that they take criticism, because it is criticism, whether it's good or bad. You're giving them value in what they're doing. So if you go and you tell someone, hey, they say, I want to go be an astronaut, and you're like, that's never going to happen. You know what you got to do. You got to give them all this negative stuff. Or you sit there and you turn it around and say, hey, you know what? I'll support you. This is what it's going to take. And if you need that help, I'm here. So find value, give value. Have a great day.